Greetings. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good night. Salute to everybody. Peace and blessings. I always say peace and blessings. I always tell my wife peace and blessings. She says peace and blessing. That's just our way of kind of addressing, you know, we at peace. You know what I mean? And we kind of do it in a joking way because we know so many people that use the word peace, and most people just don't know what the word peace really means. You understand? Like, I had an individual it kind of messed up our friendship. And I remember he was saying one time, I'm at peace. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So he's like, shout out to Valley. What up, Valley? Shout out to Valley, goddamn. Shout out to little Crystal. What up, Crystal? Goddamn. So I was just telling everybody about this little story about how the word peace, because me and my wife, we say peace and blessings. I say peace and blessings to her. I don't say it to anybody else because we kind of use the word peace sarcastically, but we really mean it when we say peace and blessings to each other. You feel what I'm saying? But the word peace, there was a friend of mine, right? And this is a little almost a year ago. And I remember getting on the phone. You ever love somebody enough where you kind of accept them? Because to love somebody is to accept them for who they are, right? So the nigga is no good. Whether it's what, this is my boy. You know what I mean? The niggas just he changed. And it took me a long time to realize when he moved and bought a house, he switched his whole shit up. Like he got worse. He thought he was better. Shout out to Sonia Conley, goddamn. He thought he was better. There's a lot of people that do that. And it always bugged me out because I'm like, not gonna put my personal business out there, but let's just say it just means nothing to me. And I mean it in a sense of not necessarily a house particularly, what he's doing. You understand? Because my whole thing is it's not him buying a house that made me show love and respect for the brother. What made me have the respect for him because he was like the only dude that I valued his opinion as a person a little older than me, but I always looked up to him as the big brother as I never had. You dig? So it was never about his materialistic endeavors and accomplishments. You know what I mean? When people don't understand the effect that you have on them, that's a bigger impact. And I remember talking to him and it started just he gave me this real shallow conversation. I believe it was early December of last year. And the conversation was so shallow, right? Right, shout. I'm telling you, like he became a homeowner and just started looking at everybody else as a piece of crap. Now he accomplished this shit in his damn 50s, right? Which is not a sub. I'm not saying a sub, but it was just more of a thing of okay. So what was you all this time? Because I always looked up to the brother. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why you've waited till you turn 50 to now think that you're better than everybody around you. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of little indirect jabs that the brother did. But when you value a person, you kind of take it. You know what I mean? You kind of accept it, right? Now, me being in the moving business, being an entrepreneur that I am, if you have an effect on me in a spiritual way, that's really the effect that you have. But if you have an effect on me in a materialistic way, you better believe you're not the one to have that effect. You understand? The person that has that effect on me may not even live in New York City, but that's their thing. You know what I mean? So he had this conversation, and this dude was just like trying to throw. So I could feel it. And then we got into this conversation about him being at peace. I'm like, well, what do you mean by that? Cause you just told me that you got this, got that, you got the wife, you got the kids. I mean, you got all of these things, and I'm trying to see what do you mean you're at peace? Like, what was you going through to say you're at peace now? So he's beating around the bush and he's going through this and he's going through that and he's beating around the bush. I'm like, all right, well, you always had that. You know what I'm saying? You always been in relationships, you've been in marriage, you always loved family. So I don't know what you I'm at peace. Anyway, the shit turned into a fucking nasty debate to the point where I'm like, yo, how do we get here? Like, and it took me a long time to say, let me back up from the brother. The one thing when you back up from people, the most embarrassing thing you ever want to do is to not have the answers when you see them. You don't want to bullshit them and beat around the bush. You want to tell them the real truth, right, people? So I think well, I know one of my main problems is I don't like to say no or not interested to the people that are in my circle. Because they're not going to take that well. Because if they look up to me and I tell them there's something I'm not interested in, they're going to take that personal, right? Right. Okay. Well, I didn't take this personal. I just was asking the brother, what do you mean you're at peace? Like, well, you know how I was. I'm like, no, nigga, you and your wife have threesomes with girls. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Now, this is the crazy part. Prior to that, there was a situation of the family. There's a mutual family member that I know of his, and he wasn't at the event. It was kind of weird, whatever, whatever. But I found out from her a few months later why he said he was at peace. Why he said he was at peace, and I never got the answer because I'm trying to find out what was he talking. He told, oh yeah, you know how I used to be, and I'm like, no, nigga, I don't know how you used to be. I always remember you being in relationships, unless it's some shit you not telling me. And that's exactly what it was. It was shit that he wasn't telling me. So now I found out his daughter, his oldest daughter, that when they bought the house, he has like 3 4 kids, but one of the children is his own and it's not his wife. You see where I'm going with this, right? So the wife's child, all the other kids are hers, but the oldest child is his kid from a prior marriage, prior endeavor, prior engagement, prior relationship, which is his oldest, and she's no longer in his life. So I connected the dots. See, sometimes in life all you got to do is just be a good listener because it's all going to come to you. Don't be nosy. Be a good listener because nosy motherfuckers will tell you more shit. So much. Sometimes you got to tell them you're not interested. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to tell them that because nosy people pour out to people that are good listeners. Am I lying? Y'all know that. So when all this came about, his issue was had to do with, like most people do, a whole bunch of shit going on in the house and he wasn't telling me, but yet everything is great in his life. He accomplished this and did that. Like I ain't do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't got the shit going on. And on top of it, he wasn't being truthful. So now I know how a woman feels. Like, damn, this nigga was just lying, just front. So I it took a while for me to come to this conclusion today to say, yo, you know what I gotta see? When I do see the brother, I'm gonna be like, yo, gonna keep it real with you, big bro. You was always a dude I looked up to, but yo, when you got that crib, you got that house, you changed. And I felt the difference. And I felt as if like we just grown apart. So I don't really I don't like to say I don't fuck with him because it sounds bitchy, but let's just say I kind of, had to sit back. And sometimes you got to do that. You know, when there's things such as me, and he's not all to blame for this. People have a hard time in my circle, and I'm pretty sure you could relate to this. In my circle, friends and family, when I say no, I'm not interested. Not interested is no. It's probably a very more clear way of saying No. You tell me what you accomplished in your life and then you throw it back to me. I said, nah, I'm not, that's not my thing. People don't know how to respect that. People don't know how to just respect. Nah, brother. Fuck nah, I'm good. I'm not interested. Say it. No thanks. No. When people are in your circle and they value you, that's very detrimental when you tell them that. So I kind of be careful, but that same response doesn't work for me. If they can tell me that, I can't tell them that. So I'm not going to put my boy at the most blame, but I will say this: when I do see him, I'm going to tell him the truth. I'm going to say, big bro, because that's what he was to me. I'm going to say, yo, man, you was always an opinionated person, and I'm pretty sure you got a lot going on um, in your life that you choose not to talk about, and that's fine. But what's not cool, it's not actually it's not fine. It's not fine. You want to know everybody else's business. Let me rewind that. Real simple. Listen, you changed, man, when you got that house. You changed. You changed a lot, man. And you may not know, but you did. So I didn't feel the connection anymore. And you know what? I know some people are afraid to tell people that because that's what they want you to say. They hating. That's fine. Just as long as he knows when he's really dealing with the real issues at home in that house, he knows maybe big bro, maybe little bro was right. Because I'm a little bro to him. You know what I'm saying? He's a big dude too. So this is something that I'm trying to exercise to tell you on this morning or evening, whenever you're listening to this message to um friends and family can really weigh you down on your true opinion. Amen. Friends and family could really weigh you down on your true transparency. Amen. Friends and family can really pull you down when you are being truthful. I have a friend of mine that I want to pull into this. She's a registered nurse slash nurse practitioner. I think there's levels to that. Anyway, she's like the highest nurse is a nurse practitioner, I believe, right? So I was like, listen, I know this girl for over 30 years. We just reached a 30-year mark this year because I met her in 94. My boy was with her from 94 to 2004. We've been friends longer than they've been friends, which is great because my boy, he had a mental condition and, he's fucked up in the game, unfortunately. So pray for him. But he has a mental illness. Um, she's been doing, relatively well. Um, for the most part, as far as her ladder of her success, she's more genuine. So this is a woman I'm very proud of that has been growing since the day I met her. We met her when she was going to college up at Columbia University up here in Upper Manhattan, and she's been striving. So she's doing her thing. Long story short, she just had a birthday. Me and her are both Libras. Shout out to Libras. And I thought of this amazing idea that it crossed my mind because she wants me to do a photo shoot. She's going through her little mature phase, so she wants me to do a photo shoot of her. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Um, she just had a birthday. I did miss that. That was a brunch, a Sunday brunch last Sunday. I regret not going to that, but what else? I mean, I'm not a nigga that like eating all the goddamn time anyway. But anyway, so um, she was. I told her, I said, listen, sis, you know what I mean? She been to all three of my daughter's birthday party. We didn't really do nothing big for my daughter this year because we had a lot of deaths in the family and shit was a little crazy, but she was there and she's always been there and I love her for that. Um, so I wanted her to do this thing to, I don't like to share goals, but I'm going to share this. Kind of like a Q&A, I had this vision that, listen, we could kind of like, I don't want to give too many ideas, but I had this vision of getting and doing this thing on a physical platform, right? Me and her, and I wanted us, and I had to tell her, listen, I think you'd be good. I have a big female fan base, a large female fan base, but there's men in there coming in there too, and I kind of want them to answer some of these health questions that you are trained and learn to do through, obviously through your career. And I think it'd be a good thing that we could bounce back and forth with. But I told her and I expressed this. I said, I don't want to have a debate. Now, my friend, she's a Latin woman. Um, she's a Libra. She's a Libra, but she's a Libra woman. I'm a Libra man. I know my sign, but I'm gonna say this much. The one thing that I do, I'm definitely not trying to cross boundaries. So I don't want this to be a thing where she sees my harsh ways, quote unquote. I'm just being sarcastic, and has an opinion on it, and it causes her anxiety to explode. Now we all know I obviously shouldn't even be doing this shit, but I had to tell her, I had to give her a disclaimer. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing I'm worried with her is she has a tendency to, she's very talented, she's very smart, she's very witty, but she has a hard time not accepting these two words. It's called not interested. She has a hard time with that. And I don't want that to kill a 30-year friendship. Now, some people say, well, Nate, if you know all this, why are you doing it? Well, that was the downside. The big side of it is she would be enormously great for women to give information from a woman perspective in regards to things that I don't know. You know what I mean? There's certain things that you guys have to ask in regards to GYN type of questions. And, you know, I want this platform for her to be there, but I don't want her having an issue with my mindset because she is a friend and family. And as a friend and family, they, I'm not saying you guys don't matter, but they matter to the deepest degree. But the biggest issue in my circle is me saying, not interested. Case in point, let's just say she's like, well, you and your wife and daughter should take a travel and go here. And I'm like, nah, I'm not really interested in traveling like that anymore. She can't just say, oh, okay, I respect that. She's gonna say, well, you should, blah, blah, blah. She's gonna bypass what the fuck you say. So I know this personality because outside of this, if it was you guys, you know me enough to know, all right, we've learned Nate, we've been taught by Nate. So when we have an opinion, we express the opinions because he's asked the opinion. He always wants us to give this, but then now it's like, are we giving an opinion or are we going to get a debate? And once you get into a debate with a friend or family, shit will go left. You don't want to get into debates. So, um, again, the one thing that's important to exercise is this phrase. I just say two words because it's bigger than a phrase. A phrase is a little longer than two words. No, not interested. These are the two words that men cannot handle from a woman when she tells them the truth. These are the two words a salesman doesn't want to hear when they're trying to sell you some shit. These are the two words that people that may love you and cherish you can't accept when you believe they should be doing something and they have their passion to something else. You know, I would never tell her, I think you should dress like this. I think you should do this. Number one, she's not my wife or woman. So if she's comfortable in wearing whatever, then that's cool. But if a person's open up to criticism, which most people are not, they are not usually open up to people rejecting them. Amen. If a person is not open to criticism, follow me now, a person is not going to be open to you saying no thanks or not interested. They're not going to be able to handle that. If you want to know if a person can handle critique, they respect your opinion. Period. If you got a friend and you can't tell your friend that they put on a couple of pounds, or I think that I think what you're doing is a bad. You got to be careful. They're not going to be open to you telling them something that you can't accept. They just can't. And I think that people don't understand how that connection is together. It's the same as my boy that said, "Hey, he's at peace." Well, what was you going through to say you wasn't? You just bragged to me about, you got this and got that and got this and got that. What is it that I'm missing here that you saying you at peace? He said, "I'm at peace." Look, you know what peace means? I'm like, are you at peace? Are you happy? Because happy can be happy, joy could be joy. What do you mean you're at peace? What was prior to that to tell me that? And all along, he had something he was hiding. So it's the same thing. This individual is not going to be able to take the critique. Maybe that's why I was so apprehensive about telling him the truth. But I'm urging you from experience. Shout out to Victorious One. I'm telling you this from experience how important it is to lay this on the line. And man, I know you have a problem with this. You do. The worst thing you can do is take a woman out on a date, spend time and money and time. For you, it's money. It's really your time that you can't get back, right? For her to tell you the next day, listen, it was date, but I'm just not interested. Me, I'm proud to tell you that I'm open to that because I love critique. I don't like a troll, but I love constructive criticism. I love when somebody can tell me, nigga, there's something on your mouth. Yeah, listen, something on the back of your pants. Maybe you should wait. Especially when there's some major truth to it. I'm cool with that because once a person tells you they're not interested, there's no going further. Not interested is the bottom line to know. Period. I'm not interested. The most aggressive salesman knows that's a challenge, but that's sales. I had a young lady that I was working with. I knew, um, realistically, she had a situation. She was working with me. Everything was going good. And then she just flipped in 1 week because she had an old man in the crib. I call her old man because they're not married, but she had an old man that she living with, and something went wrong there. Will I ever know? Probably not. But through a mutual friend, um, she wasn't interested later. And she was vocal about it. Like, all right, listen, I don't want to do it. Blah, 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 this video shit. And I spoke no further. There's nothing to talk about. Like that is the epitome of no. The end, you understand? So you gotta respect that and exercise that the same way you would want to hear it. Does it hurt? I mean, shit, it can be brutal, but if you're open to criticism, it won't be brutal. You're just gonna accept it as, hey, you know, now I ain't gonna waste my time. And not even hold something against her. But the thing is, I don't want to get involved with a jealous boyfriend, jealous husband. I can't deal with that. Man, that's the part of a stinking hairy leg man that annoy the fuck out of me. Is a jealous man. I can't deal with that. Jealous male. So if you have that and you're not interested in what I'm providing, even better. Cause I'm like, I don't want to get into no shit. Not necessarily with him per se, but not interested is not interested. I don't think Diddy and R. Kelly and any of these individuals understood the magnitude of the people that they forced these things on because they wanted certain things, but they forced them to let them know, hey, they got to cross the board and give up some ass. They wasn't interested to do that, and they ignored it. And now they're paying a very, very big price for that. You know, stand tall and know what you don't like. Family member. I got close family members. I ain't gonna say their actual who they are, their positions, but I have family members that I can't tell them they put on a couple of pounds. I can't tell them they're losing weight. I can't tell them you should try a different hairstyle. But these are the same individuals that are quick. to tell me whatever's on their mind. So I have to, every now and then, I have to hit the brakes and say, hold on. You can't voice an opinion and I can't give my opinion. So now I'm not interested in sharing that. You I can't give you the privilege to be open on what I should do because I couldn't tell you. Y'all, we all know how that is. We all know we got people in our families that you can't tell them about their kids, but they quick to tell you about yours. Uh uh uh. It goes both ways. Cause there's tons of shit that I be wanting to say, but I don't. I know you can't handle the criticism. So now you're gonna bring it to me. So now we gotta cut that. Now I'm not interested in even opening up to you what you gotta tell me. So I feel that we have to create these boundaries to know our rights. Going back to my boy back 11 months ago, because almost a year, I wish I had just said what I thought about. Now, big bro, you changing, my brother. Sometimes it's best to just get straight to it because what ends up happening is when people want to question what you're doing or how you do it. Can I make a suggestion or quick to tell you a suggestion or whatever? They all in your sauce, but can I just say, man, listen, that's not my thing. Can you respect that? No, they're not going to be able to respect it. They can't even respect critique. It's very important to use this exercise, and I've mastered it now. I did because now I know that there's nothing worse than looking like a fool and nobody can tell you nothing because now you can't accept it. Most people don't tell nobody shit. People now have gotten to the point where they're beyond minding their business because now they can't tell a person when something is looking awkward. Like, miss, there's a piece of tissue sticking out of your pants because they're afraid the woman may go off, or somebody's kid is doing something, and nobody's opening up and saying, hey, your kid, you're in the doctor's office, your kid's in the bathroom pulling all the toilet paper. Nobody's People are afraid to talk to people now because we're living in such a society where people all want to be vocal, but they don't want the same vocal to be told to them. So you have to create the boundaries by letting it be known. Listen, not interested is not interested. Now, this is whether you have to have a proposal to do something or somebody wants to sell something or just simply, hey, I don't even want to be expressive to this opinion because I know where it's going to go. If you have a friend talk about, yeah, the political side, what you think about? It's like, listen, man, I'm not interested in that. I've had customers that I told that to, and they were like, oh, really? Well, how come? And I'm like, yo, did you hear what I just said? Right? Right, look, Crystal, did you just hear what I just said? But these are customers, so now you got to hit them with the listen. I I could care less because not interested means you you could care less. I know it's brutal, but you have to respect it. Not interested. Not my thing. No thanks. No, it's all under the same exact fucking umbrella. They're just trying to tell you a nice way to say, get the fuck out of my face. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want you in my business. Mind your business. You understand where I'm coming from? So it's important to exercise these because if not, you're gonna be what I did to my boy. Did he deserve me not keeping it real? Yeah, I believe he should have got the expression, but he can't deal with it. We're gonna get into a debate, so I don't want to go there. So, I do have a valid reason because normally I'm able to do that. But when you have close friends and family, and they look up to you to that degree, they still value you as an individual, but you don't value my mindset. Shout out to my homegirl Annie. Hopefully we can do this. But then again, I may just say, hey, she went on vacation for 2 weeks. She goes to places. I'm like, listen, all that traveling around the world shit, that's not my thing. And I know some people may say, Roundney, it's not. It, I'm not interested in that. And that's cool. And if there's something you may not be able to identify with, well, shit, go travel yourself. You know, everybody don't have to do what you think is best. Now, granted, if you know a person urgently something is good for them, that's great. But When you're giving suggestion, and I throw back a suggestion and tell you, hey, this girl looks like you should get your hair done like that. Well, I don't like her hair. What's wrong with my hair? I find it a little misogynistic that you're telling me what's wrong with my hair. I've had these discussions. I've had these discussions. Some people say, I respect the opinion. People that say they do respect the opinion do not. That's bullshit. Anybody that says they respect an opinion does not. To respect an opinion is when a person tells you what it is, what they feel, their opinion, and you say, okay. Regardless, deep inside, you say it won't be me, but it don't matter because if it's not about you, let them do what they do. Now, if their opinion is on your clock, that's different. But if their opinion is their opinion, fuck it. Most people can't accept that. If you have a friend, again, they support somebody, politically, and they try to pull you into a conversation, you say, listen, I'm not interested. And they're on this opinion wave because the rejection hurts. Because the rejection hurts. Say it again with me, class. Because the rejection hurts, they're gonna try to take that shit a step further. And if they don't take it a step further, that fucking opinion is gonna piss them off. Fucking asshole. He just don't want to talk about it because he votes for some. Why? How? If he says he's not interested, why should he even have an opinion on who? Why does it matter who he picked? He's not interested. See, that's the problem with you men. When you're meeting a woman and you're trying to court her and do all this and she's just not interested, there's nothing you can do. I know it fucking hurts. I know you wish you had the same chemistry. She had the same chemistry with you that you wish you had because you have with her. I get it. But not interested is not interested. There's nothing to talk about. If you see a person and y'all was supposed to do some work together and they bailed out, then fuck them. They say, listen, I respect it more if a person could tell you they're not interested than to take off and just bullshit. You understand? We all have to work. Shout out to Ken Thompson. What up, big bro? We all have to work on these deliveries, these abilities, these mindsets of your boundaries. Knowing when a person says, may I ask why? You don't ask a person when they say they're not interested on the general topics, because again, it could be some shit that they not interested in. It could involve life and death. But when it's something that's not on your clock and they tell you they're not interested, leave them the fuck alone. Don't go ask, may I ask why? No, you may not. Why not? Because I just told you I'm not interested. Well, I mean, maybe there's an insecure. See, then they pull you into the bullshit. You gotta watch that. The psych game is psychotic. It also could be psychological. Use it wisely, ladies and gentlemen. Set your boundaries, and also know when you're fucked up. Know when know a person when a person tells you no thanks, no, I'm not interested. Leave them alone. If they tell you, listen, you should get into real estate and get into investments, they say, no, I'm not interested in that. I'd rather just sleep in this little fucking damn, studio apartment that I have. Leave them alone. Don't feel that you have to force something on a person if there's no interest. Because if there's no interest, they're not going to be able to do anything well. Yeah, you're going to probably judge them because they just fucking rejected you, rejected whatever you recommended, rejected whatever you feel was good, but they told you the most hardened, respectful truth. They're not interested. Practice these two words. People can't respect these two words. No thanks, not interested. Okay, that's it. I know the guy walks back to the car. You give a girl a card and then she gives it back. That fucking hurts. Oh, no, I'm not interested. Sorry. Oh, you married? No, I'm not married, but I'm not interested. Have a nice day. They got their mind made up. That's it. It's better to cut your losses within seconds versus a person bullshitting you and in return and ghost your call for nearly a month. You got to respect that. Embrace the two words and embrace the two words on the giving and the receiving end. And also know, could you get if you're gonna go there with somebody, could they go there with you? Would they can they turn that same question on you? Absolutely. No, they can't. You know they can't. Because you can't accept the criticism. Don't act like nothing don't bother you when shit does, and that's fine. But respect the boundaries. Put the boundaries out and respect it when somebody's giving it to you. This is why friends and family so fucked up. Amen. Friends and family so twisted. A stranger is a stranger. Again, you give him the damn not interested, no thanks. That guy, you know how that guy is in the damn New York City subway. He try to talk to you. You're not interested. Now the nigga want to put you in the fucking tracks. I'm talking to you, you mentally ill bastard. If the woman doesn't want to be fucking bothered, leave her alone. If you say good morning every morning and you say have a nice day, she didn't say shit back. She clearly wasn't interested. Sometimes these two words is also a physical. You got to learn how to read people. Body language. Well, what body language was? She just put a middle. No, nigga, she ignored you. She heard you. She ignored you. She's not interested. Embrace that. It's the same way when you see. I had a dude that kind of come to the car yesterday. We was about to check cash in place. He tried to come in to beg for money. I hit him with the hand. Fuck saying to stop opening the window. I hit him with the hand with the, like, cut through my neck. Like, get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm not interested. Don't ask me for shit. Now, unfortunately, people get dangerous when they get rejected. So I'm letting you know also the way I'm talking to the people on the other end, because that you guys could get dangerous with that. Rejection hurts. It never feels good. That's why you're supposed to embrace it. Now, I tell you on a positive note, rejection is God's protection. If a woman could tell you she's not interested in the first few minutes of conversation versus she takes you on a date and she was never interested the whole fucking month, I just think that's pretty foul. So put that out there. Let it be known. Learn how to say no. There's a power in no. There's a power in saying no things. There's a power in saying not interested. There's a power in saying, nah, man, it's just not my thing. You got to be able to put it out and they got to be able to receive it. So we're dealing with both sides. Ladies and gentlemen, please embrace this. We got a lot getting ready to happen. Y'all gonna be getting in the debates with this fucking political shit. You're gonna be getting in conversations about Diddy and all this bullshit. You're not concentrating on nothing. Why don't you go listen to some music? Go do something constructive. If you can't handle constructive criticism, do something constructive for your mind, body, and soul. Go fuck something, especially men. Straight man, I know it's hard for you to closing out all the brothels all around the fucking world and making shit hard. Instagram women want 2,000 to have sex. You can't meet nobody. I get it. But you still have to understand rejection. God is still shielding you. Even though you're a shithole, you still his son. He's shielding you too. Embrace it. It's not a negative thing. You're taking it that way. And that's why it's important. Friends and family, when you have your son and you're trying to push him to do this and do that, or you have a nephew, you're trying to push them and they're not interested, make sure they tell you that. Encourage them to say, are you interested in this or not? Because even if they don't tell you after you requested it, it's going to show in their body language. And if it shows in their body language, back away from them. That's it. Leaving the fuck alone. Don't push nothing on a motherfucker. Because now what ends up happening, you're putting more time and effort and thought into that. And it's going to hurt you when they really hurt your feelings. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, this was just a quick little exercise. Nothing serious, but very important. Learn, like Stevie Wonder says, these three words. Well, goddamn, I don't know where we are with that in this damn world. Okay, I love you turned into these two words. I love you went to not interested. No thanks. Sorry, no. So embrace that. Embrace that. Build the order, build character, build strength, build. There's the power is in no. Ladies, you want a nice little meal, but you don't like the nigga that's taking you. Just tell him no, thank you. No, thank you. That's it. Can I have your number? No, thanks. No, I'm not interested. No, 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 no. And put that out there and fellas walk. Don't get mad at her. And ladies, get the fuck out the way when you're telling somebody no thanks. No thank you. Not interested. But walk faster if you can. Be wary, people. We about to go through some real crazy times. Going to be a lot of personal topics, a lot of bullshit topics you're going to be discussing with one person and going back with this one and that one. And you're not going to realize now that the world is going into a very, very, very sad place. We're already ending this year, coming out this year crazy, and that's not good to leave a year bad to go into another new year bad because it's just going to get more redundant and redundant. Stay away from bullshit. Just stay away from it. Tell them you're not interested. Put your hands over your fucking ears. And if you're the one antagonizing that person, you need to get a fucking life. Leave them alone. They're not interested. Their body language is telling you that. Their words are telling you that. Leave them alone. Respect these two words and learn how to use these two words. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Class is dismissed. I appreciate you. Goddamn.